hay. It's much more common than rabbit allergies is grass allergies. So if you have any kind of sensitivity at all, sneezing, runny eyes, the first thing that we recommend is switching to an orchard grass hay. But the hay is super important for rabbits for their digestive health, as well as for their dental health, because it's actually the silica in that hay that helps to wear their teeth down and grind their teeth, and it's the chewing motion. They have a different chewing motion for chewing hay than they do when they eat pellets. So that chewing motion of eating
when they eat hay, I love watching them put it in their mouth sideways. They're adorable.
Yeah. Then they'll take a long piece of hay, and they're kind of like a wood chipper, and it just goes in, zoom, or like Lady and the Tramp eating spaghetti, it just
right,
goes
exactly.
in the mouth. Yeah. So the biggest part of the diet is the hay. And then here we recommend a salad every day. We do about 1 to 2 cups chopped. Of course, you don't have to chop it, but if you're trying to measure it out, that's about how much we do. Rabbits can chop it with their teeth. But you can do basically any dark leafy greens, so kale, chard, dandelion greens, any of the lettuces except for iceberg, red leaf, green leaf, romaine when it's not being recalled, or oak or any of the other lettuces. You could do baby lettuce mix, that's fine, spring mix. And then any of the herbs, so basil, parsley, cilantro, mint. Rabbits really, really enjoy all of the herbs as well. And we have a full list of all the rabbit-safe vegetables on rabbit.org, so people can go and look at that as well. And then they should get pellets every day.
Lawn clippings, not great for bunnies, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to feed lawn clippings because they very quickly become moldy and rancid after they're clipped from the grass. So rabbits could get sick from that really quickly.
Right.
If your grass has been treated with chemicals, either fertilizer or pesticides, you wouldn't want your rabbit to eat the grass when they're out there hopping around. So you could certainly put down, like if you want to take your rabbit outside for some supervised playtime, as long as there's an adult out with the rabbit and it's a safe environment that they can't escape out of, if there's a person physically out there, a hawk is not likely to come and grab them. However, rabbits don't know what's safe for them to eat and not safe for them to eat. They don't instinctually know which plants are toxic. And a lot of very common plants, both house plants as well as outdoor plants, are toxic to rabbits. So it's important that somebody is out there supervising them and seeing what they eat, and preventing them from having access to things they shouldn't be eating. But unfortunately, if you do treat your grass with fertilizer or pesticides, grass is something that they shouldn't be eating. So if that's the case, you could put down a blanket and have an exercise pen on top of that so that they don't have access to the grass. And in some areas where there's a lot of botfly larva problems, the rabbits actually can pick that up from the grass from supervised playtime. So they can still be exposed to parasites if they're out hopping around outside. So that is a consideration if that's something that you want to do.
But if you talk about a grass too.
Yeah. And vegetables like broccoli can be a little gassy for them. So broccoli, cabbage, if it's not something your rabbit's had before, I wouldn't recommend introducing it. If it's something that you're currently feeding your rabbit, I would say, and they're not having any kind of gas problems or GI stasis problems, it's probably fine to continue in small quantities. But why risk it if there's a possibility of having a problem? And then the other part of the diet is a small amount of rabbit pellets every day. So the pellets are really important for the vitamins and minerals that they provide. If rabbits had access to unlimited pellets, they would eat nothing but pellets. So rabbits are natural concentrate selectors. In nature, wild rabbits will go for the fattiest, richest thing they can possibly eat because they don't know when they're going to have that to eat again. The seasons could change, and then they can't find fatty, rich things to eat anymore and have to survive. So our companion rabbits, however, they have another meal coming, in another 12 hours. headquarters, but they are programmed to eat the fattiest, richest thing they can all the time. And so if we give them as much pellets as they would like to eat, they will always choose to eat the pellets, and they will eat too much, and they will make themselves chubby, and they will give themselves digestive problems. So it's important that we give them a limited amount of pellets so that they can eat the hay, because the hay is so important for their digestion and for their dental health. And they can eat unlimited amounts of hay. They can have as much hay as they want. Yeah, absolutely. But we just want to give them a little bit of pellets. So we do about 1/8 of a cup twice a day, or you could do 1/4 of a cup once a day for an average about 5 to 6 pound rabbit. A rabbit who's a lot larger than that may need a little bit more. A rabbit who's a lot smaller than that may need a little bit less. But generally we do 1/8 of a cup twice a day, or 1/4 of a cup once a day for the average size rabbit. And with the pellets, it's really important to choose a pellet that doesn't have any seeds or candies or nuts or anything mixed in. You want something that's just plain pellets, because again, rabbits being concentrate selectors, they will eat all the goodies out of the pellet mix, and then they won't get any of the pellets that have the vitamins and minerals in them. And all those goodies that are mixed in are often not things that they really should be eating, and they can make themselves sick from eating those things. And there are also studies that have found that rabbits eating those muesli-style pellet mixes are actually more prone to dental disease and jaw abscesses. We've seen several really sad cases here in House Rabbit Society headquarters of rabbits with just enormous jaw abscesses, where we had a history from the person that surrendered them to the shelter that they had been feeding that style of mixed muesli pellets for years prior to that. So certainly in our experience, it seems to fit what's in the literature there. So it's really important to pick a pellet that's doesn't have anything mixed into it. It's just pellets. And for an adult rabbit, you want it formulated for an adult rabbit. So for young rabbits who are still growing, they're young formulas, and they're going to get more pellets. So we don't want to restrict the amount of pellets for young rabbits who are still growing. So they're going to get unlimited pellets. But basically, by 9 months to a year, then we want to start to restrict the amount of pellets. And then for adult rabbits, we want an adult formula, so a year and over, an adult formula, and then a restricted amount to 1/4 cup a day.
And can you tell us a little bit about bringing a rabbit into your family with children?
Yeah, absolutely. So we work with a lot of different adopters here at House Rabbit Society headquarters. And the most important thing to know is that if you have kids, that bringing a rabbit into your home, it's really, it needs to be the parent's rabbit. So kids, their interests change really quickly, and that's just part of the developmental process, and it's totally healthy and natural. But what we found, a study that I did several years ago looked at the reasons that people were giving up rabbits, and one of the top reasons was that either the children had lost interest in the rabbit or they were moving away to go to college. So here at House Rabbit Society headquarters, for families, we really stress that it needs to be the parent that wants the rabbit, regardless of the children's interest in the rabbit, and that the parent is going to be doing the daily care and making sure that the rabbit's needs are met, and supervising the kids when they interact with the rabbit. And depending on the age of the kids, that supervision, the children can be taught and trusted how to interact with the rabbit safely, but certainly with young children, they're going to need to be, very, very closely supervised with a bunny. It's important that small children don't try to pick up a rabbit. Their spines are very fragile, and they can actually break their back if they're dropped, or they could break a leg or suffer other injuries. And rabbits don't really like to be picked up. Rabbits, they are ground-dwelling animals, and in nature, with a wild rabbit, the only time they would get picked up is if something really bad was about to happen. So rabbits instinctually don't really like to get picked up. they can learn to tolerate it, but they really like to interact with people down on the ground. So a lot of families find that it's really fun for the kids to be down on the ground, and they can be, reading or doing their homework, and the bunnies are hopping all around them and hopping on their backs, and having those interactions down on the ground can be really, really satisfying. But it's important to set those expectations in the beginning that rabbits don't like to be carried around and cuddled in the same way that a stuffed animal, you can carry them around and cuddle them. Rabbits don't really enjoy that. And I would guess that's probably similar to cats in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah, and other animals, too. Well, Anne, it's time for us to take another break to hear from our sponsors. You're listening to Dr. Judy Morgan's Naturally Healthy Pets with physical therapist for pets and people, Sally Morgan, on DreamVision7Radio.com. We'll be back in a few moments.
Interested in learning more? Visit physical therapist Sally Morgan's website at sallymorganpt.com, where you will find details about her upcoming speaking engagements, craniosacral therapy, and Tellington TTouch offerings, as well as information about holistic care for animals. Join the mailing list today and be the first to learn about upcoming events and special offers. Sally Morgan is a best-selling author, and her book, Dances of the Heart, Connecting with Animals, details her journey of learning to listen to animals. Her unique set of animal connection cards offers 52 activities to enhance your relationships with the animals in your life, and she suggests that you ask your pet to choose a card each week. Both Sally's book and her cards are available on Amazon and her website, sallymorganpt.com. Join Sally Morgan PT CST Daily on Facebook for conversations with a corgi, and visit YouTube for past episodes as well as Sally's TED Talk. When it comes to our pets' health, you can never be too careful. We invest significant time in ensuring that they have long and happy lives, but it's important to invest the same dedication into our own longevity. The key active ingredient in Dr. Morgan's wellness formula, pure New Zealand deer antler velvet, is now available as a standalone human-grade product. Life Deer Antler Velvet is a whole food supplement rich in calcium and collagen to support healthy joints and strong bones. Our products prioritize purity, ethical harvesting, and quality sourcing above all else. Visit lifepurerecovery.com to learn more and order your first bottle today.
Tune in to world-renowned author, speaker, and holistic veterinarian Dr. Judy Morgan, and now radio host of Dr. Judy Morgan's Naturally Healthy Pets on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network every Monday and Tuesday, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Not sure which vaccinations should be given or how often? Not sure which food is best for your individual pet? Find out the answers to your questions in this weekly show where Dr. Judy interviews top experts and showcases the latest products that will help your pets stay naturally healthy.
Does your dog have bad breath? Tired of spending money on expensive dental procedures? Try out Dr. Morgan's Dental Drops today and save money while maintaining your pet's oral health. With New Zealand deer antler velvet as the primary ingredient, Dr. Morgan's Dental Drops are effective for treating stomatitis, gingivitis, and ulcers. You can purchase Dr. Morgan's Dental Drops directly from Amazon Prime or from her website, www.drjudymorgan.com.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back. You're listening to Dr. Judy Morgan's Naturally Healthy Pets, and I'm holistic physical therapist and Dr. Judy Morgan's sister, Sally Morgan, and I'm here with my guest, Anne, from the House Rabbit Society, and we are talking about bunnies. And with Easter coming up, I think Anne will have a lot to tell us about adopting rabbits at Easter and what happens to shelters for bunnies around Easter time. In fact, my first rabbit was one that hopped up the street from the neighbors after they put it out on the lawn a couple of weeks after Easter, and we saved that bunny.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did. Yeah, unfortunately, we do see, a lot of rabbits coming into the animal shelters in the months after Easter, and a lot of times we don't know their backstories. We see a lot of rabbits coming into the shelters stray, so it's really important when people are thinking about rabbits at this time of the year that they're thinking about, if they're planning to bring home a rabbit, that's a long-term decision, that they're thinking about having that rabbit in their family for the next 10 to 12 years. Rabbits, they live a long time and require special care. And so we want people to really make these decisions carefully because there are so many rabbits in our shelters. A lot of people don't realize that rabbits are the third most common pets in shelters after cats and dogs, and often the third most euthanized for lack of homes. So it's really, really important that people are making these decisions thoughtfully and carefully, and that they're visiting a rescue or shelter where